All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always ready to dig into some fascinating vocabulary.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're tackling a list of 30 words straight from the Oxford 5000.
A great resource, especially for those who are learning English, right?
For sure, yeah. It's that core vocabulary you really need to know. But this deep dive, it's for anyone, really. If you love words and you want to, boost your vocabulary, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. Because we're not just going to define these words. We're going to really explore them, right? Use them in sentences, give you a feel for those subtle shades of meaning.
Exactly. That's the key. We've got some really interesting ones on the list today. Cult, cynical, debris. Those are just a few. Ready to get started?
Oh, yeah, definitely. A strong vocabulary. It's like having the right tool for the job. You can express yourself more clearly, more precisely, make a real impact.
Okay, first up, we've got crude. This one can be a bit tricky, actually. It's not just about something being rough or unrefined. It can also have a kind of a negative connotation.
Right. It can definitely describe something offensive or vulgar, like a joke that goes a little too far.
Exactly. Okay, so think about this. The early tools were crude, made of simple stone and wood.
Good one.
That shows that raw, unrefined meaning. Now, how about he made a crude joke that made everyone uncomfortable?
Perfect example of that negative connotation.
Okay, and one more. The oil refinery processes crude oil into gasoline and other products.
So it really does have those different meanings.
Okay, how about cruise? I don't know about you, but I instantly think of vacations. Relaxing on a ship,
Oh, definitely. But cruise isn't just limited to ships, right? It can be any smooth, effortless movement.
Like we're planning a cruise to the Caribbean next year. That's the classic one.
Absolutely. Or how about the car was cruising along the highway at a steady speed?
Nice. And to really show that sense of ease, he cruised through his final exams, effortlessly acing every subject.
Now, crush is next. And it has a bunch of meanings, doesn't it? It can be literal or figurative.
Yeah, totally. The recycling machine crushed the aluminum cans into a compact cube. There's that literal meaning.
Exactly. And now for something more figurative. She had a secret crush on her classmate, but was too shy to say anything.
Classic. And finally, to show that sense of overwhelming force, the home team crushed their rivals, winning the game by a landslide.
Crush is really versatile. Okay, crystal. I had to think of sparkling, Beautiful, clear objects.
Oh, me too. The chandelier was adorned with hundreds of sparkling crystals. That just paints such a vivid picture.
It does. Or for that sense of pure clarity, the mountain stream had crystal clear water, perfect for drinking.
And to show that figurative clarity, he explained the complex scientific concept with crystal clarity, making it easy to understand. That's so important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Clear communication is key. Okay, next up is cue. This is all about signals, right?
Yeah, totally. Like a prompt for action. The actor waited for his cue to enter the stage.
And for those everyday cues, we could say the sound of the bell was the cue for the students to begin writing their exams.
Right. Or, to make it a bit more personal, her sudden silence was my cue to change the subject. Sometimes you just got to read those cues.
For sure. Okay, now for an interesting one. Cult. There's a certain mystique to this word.
Definitely. The controversial guru had a devoted cult following who believed he had supernatural powers.
So it can definitely describe a group with unorthodox beliefs.
Right, but it's not always so serious. The classic sci-fi film quickly gained a cult following and is still celebrated by fans today.
That's a bit more lighthearted, right?
It is. And to show how it can apply to music, the band never achieved mainstream success, but they developed a loyal cult following in underground music circles.
And now for something totally different. Cultivate. This word is all about nurturing, isn't it? Developing something over time. Right. Whether it's a skill, a relationship, even a garden.
Exactly. The gardener carefully cultivated the soil, preparing it for planting.
A literal example. I like it.
And to show how it applies to work, she worked hard to cultivate a positive and supportive work environment.
Absolutely. And for that personal development angle, he dedicated years to cultivating his musical talent, practicing diligently every day.
Cultivate really emphasizes that dedication, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, ready for curiosity. This one is all about that thirst for knowledge, the desire to explore and understand.
Absolutely.
Eh?
And sometimes it can get us into trouble. Her curiosity led her to open the mysterious antique box, even though she knew she probably shouldn't. We've all been there, right?
Oh, for sure. And to show that natural curiosity we all have, young children are naturally curious about the world around them, constantly asking why.
And to round it out, a classic saying. But remember, as the saying goes, curiosity killed the cat. Sometimes it's best to resist the urge to pry.
Wise words. Okay. Curious. It describes that person who's always eager to learn, always asking questions.
Like the curious child peeked over the fence, trying to see what was happening in the neighbor's yard.
So cute. Or, in a conversation, you could say, I'm curious to know what you thought of the movie. Did you like it?
And one more, for those animal lovers out there. The dog tilted his head and gave me a curious look, as if trying to understand what I was saying.
Okay, switching gears a bit. Let's talk about curriculum. It's all about education, right?
Yeah, it's the framework for what's taught in schools and educational programs. The school's curriculum included a strong emphasis on STEM subjects, preparing students for careers in science and technology.
And for the ever-changing world of education, teachers are constantly adapting their curriculum to meet the evolving needs of their students.
Absolutely. And to show that broader perspective, the national curriculum sets standards for what students should learn at each grade level.
A well-structured curriculum is so important, isn't it? Okay, moving on to custody. This one's a bit more serious. It often has legal implications.
Yeah, it's all about the legal right and responsibility to care for someone. After a lengthy legal battle, the parents were awarded joint custody of their children.
And unfortunately, sometimes these situations are very difficult. The child was placed in the custody of her grandparents after her parents were deemed unfit to care for her.
And to show that broader use of the word, the police took the suspect into custody for questioning.
Okay, time for a lighter one. Cute. This one's easy, right?
Definitely. It's all about those things that make us go, oh, like the kittens at the animal shelter were so cute, it was hard to resist adopting them all.
Oh, that's the best kind of problem to have. Or, for a more stylish example, she wore a cute outfit to the party, complete with a sparkly headband and a twirly skirt.
And to show that cute can apply to humor, he told a cute joke that made everyone laugh, even though it was a bit cheesy.
Cute is just so versatile. Okay, how about cutting? It has both literal and figurative meanings, right?
Right. It could describe something sharp, like a knife, or a remark that stings a little.
For that literal meaning, be careful handling that broken glass. The edges are cutting. Always good advice.
And for that sharp wit, her cutting remarks about his appearance hurt his feelings.
Ouch. And for something a bit more positive, the director was known for his cutting-edge filmmaking techniques, pushing the boundaries of cinematic art.
Okay, now for cynical. This describes a skeptical attitude often rooted in negative experiences.
Right. Cynical people tend to see the worst in others and doubt their intentions.
Like, after years of working in politics, he became cynical about the possibility of true change.
Unfortunately, that's a common sentiment. Or how about her cynical view of relationships made it difficult for her to trust anyone?
And to show how cynicism can be used in humor, the comedian's cynical humor resonated with the audience who were tired of sugar-coated truths.
Cynicism can be quite insightful, can't it? All right, how about a word for all the foodies out there? Dairy.
Dairy. Cheese, milk, yogurt, all those delicious things.
Exactly. She switched to a plant-based diet and completely cut out dairy products.
And to show where it all comes from, the farm had a large dairy herd producing fresh milk for the local community.
And finally, for those grocery store runs, The grocery store had an entire aisle dedicated to dairy, with endless varieties of cheese, yogurt, and milk.
So many choices.
Ah.
Okay, let's move on to a word that's a bit more imposing, shall we say. Dam.
Yeah, dams are definitely impressive structures.
Yeah.
The Hoover Dam is one of the most iconic dams in the world, towering over the Colorado River. Have you ever seen it?
I have. It's incredible. The construction of the dam created a large reservoir, providing water for the surrounding farms and cities.
And to show how dam can be used figuratively, he felt a dam of emotions building up inside him, threatening to overflow.
Powerful imagery. Okay, now for damaging. This one emphasizes the harmful effects of something, right?
Yeah. Right. It can describe physical damage, emotional damage, even damage to someone's reputation.
Yeah, like the hurricane caused widespread damaging winds and flooding, destroying homes and businesses.
Devastating. And for that reputational damage, spreading false rumors can be incredibly damaging to someone's reputation.
So important to remember that. And for something a bit more everyday, excessive screen time can have damaging effects on children's development.
True. Everything in moderation. Okay, let's add a bit of excitement to our vocabulary. Dare.
Ooh, dare. It implies a challenge, a bit of risk-taking.
Right, like, I dare you to eat that entire plate of spicy chili. Would you accept that dare?
Depends on the chili. But I like how you showed that playful challenge. Okay, how about she didn't dare to contradict her boss, even though she knew he was wrong.
Good example of that hesitation, that fear of consequences.
And for a more inspiring take, he dared to dream of a better future, one where poverty and injustice were eradicated.
Now that's a dare worth taking. Okay, how about we explore the darkness for a bit?
Darkness. It's not just the absence of light, is it? It has a certain atmosphere, a sense of mystery.
It does. As night fell, the forest was enveloped in darkness, making it difficult to see.
Spooky. And for a more everyday experience, he stumbled through the dark hallway, feeling his way along the wall. We've all been there.
I have, for sure. And for that figurative darkness, the darkness of his past haunted him, casting a shadow over his present happiness.
Okay, enough darkness. Let's shed some light on database. It's a word we encounter all the time in our digital world.
Right. Database refers to an organized collection of data, usually stored electronically.
Like, the company maintains a vast database of customer information, including their purchase history and preferences.
That's how they know what to recommend to you. Or, for a more scientific example, researchers are using a global database to track the spread of infectious diseases.
And to show how it can be applied to libraries, the library's online catalog is essentially a database of all the books and resources available to patrons.
Database is essential for organizing and managing all that information. Okay, let's talk about dawn. It signifies new beginnings, right?
Yeah, that fresh start, that sense of hope. As dawn broke, the sky turned a brilliant shade of pink and orange, signaling the start of a new day.
Beautiful. Or, for those early birds, she woke up before dawn, eager to start working on her latest project.
And to show that dawn can refer to a new era, the dawn of a new era in space exploration is upon us, with humans venturing further into the cosmos than ever before.
Exciting times. But speaking of time, let's not forget about deadlines. Those pesky things that keep us on track.
Ugh, deadlines. Always looming, aren't they? I have a deadline to meet for my research paper, and I'm running out of time. I think we can all relate to that.
For sure. Or how about team worked around the clock to finish the project before the deadline?
And to really emphasize the importance of deadlines, missing the application deadline could cost you the opportunity of a lifetime.
Deadline definitely adds a sense of urgency. Okay, how about a word that sends chills down your spine? Deadly.
Ooh, deadly. It's a powerful word, signifying danger and potential loss.
Exactly. The venom of certain snakes can be deadly if not treated immediately.
And for a natural disaster example, the blizzard was a deadly storm, claiming the lives of many travelers.
And to show how deadly can be used figuratively, he gave her a deadly serious look, making it clear he was not joking.
Okay, let's switch gears again. Dealer. This one is all about buying and selling, right?
Yeah, dealer usually refers to someone who specializes in a specific type of goods.
The car dealer offered me a great trade-in value for my old vehicle.
Nice. Or for the art enthusiasts, the art dealer had an impressive collection of rare paintings and sculptures.
And to show that dealer isn't always associated with legitimate business, unfortunately, some dealers engage in illegal activities, such as selling drugs or stolen goods.
It's important to be aware of that. Okay, how about debris? This word paints a picture of destruction, doesn't it?
It does. After the earthquake, the streets were littered with debris from collapsed buildings. A really vivid image.
It is. Or, after a storm, you could say, the storm surge swept debris from the beach into the town, causing further damage.
And to show that figurative meaning, his life felt like a jumbled mess of debris after his divorce, with shattered dreams and broken promises scattered everywhere.
That's a powerful way to use debris. Okay, how about debut? It's a word that evokes excitement, anticipation for something new.
Totally. The band's debut album topped the charts, launching them into stardom. What a way to start a career.
Right. Or, for a theatrical example, the young actress made her Broadway debut in a critically acclaimed play.
And for those tech lovers, the tech company's highly anticipated new product is set to debut at the industry trade show next month.
Debut really captures that moment of stepping into the spotlight. Okay, let's wrap up with two words that are closely connected. Decision-making and decisive.
Decision-making is that process of weighing our options, considering the consequences, and ultimately making a choice.
Right. And decisive describes someone who's good at that process. They make decisions quickly and confidently.
Okay, so for decision-making, how about effective decision-making requires careful analysis of the risks and benefits of each option.
Good one. Or, to show the challenges of group decisions, the committee struggled with decision-making, unable to agree on a solution.
And sometimes we regret our decisions, right? He regretted his impulsive decision-making, realizing he hadn't thought things through properly.
It happens. Okay, and for decisive, we could say, the CEO's decisive leadership steered the company through a difficult period of economic uncertainty.
A strong leader is so important in those situations. And how about in a crisis, it's important to have a decisive leader who can act swiftly and effectively.
Absolutely. And to describe a decisive personality, you could say, she was known for her decisive personality, never wavering in her convictions or second-guessing her choices.
Okay, last word. Deck.
Huh?
Most commonly used to refer to the platform on a ship, right?
Exactly. The passengers gathered on the deck to watch the sunset over the horizon.
So peaceful. Or, for a more hardworking example, the sailors scrubbed the deck clean, removing the grime and salt from the rough seas.
And finally, to show that figurative meaning, he felt like he was on the deck of a sinking ship, overwhelmed by the challenges life was throwing at him.
Okay, and finally, we arrive at declaration. It's a formal statement, often announcing something important.
Right. It carried a lot of weight. The United States Declaration of Independence was a pivotal moment in American history.
Or for a more business-oriented example, the company issued a declaration outlining its commitment to ethical business practices.
And to bring in a bit of emotion, he surprised everyone with a heartfelt declaration of his love for her.
Declaration is a powerful word for sure. Wow, we've explored a whole range of words today. It's amazing how much depth and nuance there is to even the most common words.
It really is. And the best way to truly master these words is to use them. Don't be afraid to experiment.
Exactly. Incorporate them into your conversations, your writing, your everyday life. And hey, if you stumble a bit, that's okay. That's all part of the learning process. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Who knows, you might even inspire someone else to expand their vocabulary along the way.
So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those dictionaries handy. Until next time.
See you then.